Hey there champs, we got some breaking news for the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford rematch, and this will be a mixed bag. Some people want to see the rematch and some people don't. But regardless of what everyone says, here is the news. In a recent report with Michael Benson, the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford rematch looks like it's not going to happen, and it's due to a variety of reasons, including that Errol Spence just recently got cataract surgery. And this is according to Dan Raphael, and I know some champs will be mad and some champs will be glad about this breaking news, and this is what we're going to be talking about next. But before we get into that, if you guys are not subscribed, please punch and knock out that subscription button, that way you'll never see it again, and ding that notification bell, that way you never miss any of my new boxing videos. Alright guys, let's get to the round. Ding ding. Okay champs, let's get started. As we all know, one of the biggest fights last year, or possibly even the biggest fight there was Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. This fight was highly anticipated, and there hasn't been a big fight like that since Mayweather versus Pacquiao. This fight was so big it split content creators and fans apart. I was not one of them. I just believe Errol Spence could have beaten Terence Crawford, but I always said it could go either way. And I also wouldn't have been surprised if Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence either, but I always said it was going to be a split decision win for either one. Even both fighters stated there is no picking both fighters on this fight. You have to pick one side and stay there. They tried to make it like a gang war, but that's neither here or there. And also, on paper, this fight was bigger than the Tank versus Ryan fight, and also more important. So a lot of people thought they were going to exceed the pay-per-views that Tank and Ryan did, but it did not beat those pay-per-view numbers. I believe it only sold around 600,000 pay-per-views, which is about half that Tank and Ryan did. Don't get me wrong, those numbers are nothing to sneeze at because we're in a time where a lot of fans stream these fights for free. So those numbers are very good. We just thought it was going to exceed or even match Tank versus Ryan pay-per-view numbers. But this just shows you what kind of era boxing is in, and it's in the social media era. You don't necessarily have to be the best fighter to sell a lot of pay-per-view numbers and be famous. Because Ryan Garcia was not even a champion, he was just undefeated, and Tank Davis was more accomplished than Ryan Garcia was. Also, look at Rolly, his skills ain't the highest, but he's already a champion and he's a pay-per-view star. So just because you're undisputed and undefeated doesn't mean you're a big draw. But being undefeated and a champion does help to a degree. But I do believe if Errol Spence and Terence Crawford did trash talk and made it kind of personal, this fight would have sold a lot of pay-per-views, maybe even exceeding Tank versus Ryan. If they both would have trash talked like Rolly trash talks, it would have done huge numbers. But Errol Spence and Terence Crawford kept it professional and cordial. They said that a fight of this magnitude sells itself. You don't really have to trash talk. And we found out it does sell to some degree. I believe only the hardcore fans bought this fight because it was a huge fight. I don't believe too many of the casual fans bought this fight. And if you want to sell to the casual fans, you have to trash talk and make them watch the fight. So when Errol Spence and Terence Crawford finally got in the ring to fight, everybody thought it was going to be a competitive, close fight. But Terence Crawford ended up beating Errol Spence from pillar to post. The fight was not even close. Terence Crawford knocked down Errol Spence with the jab on the second round, and I was surprised because it was a jab, it wasn't a hook or uppercut. And we all know jabs are really to set up the uppercut or the hook so you could try to knock out your opponent. He also knocked him down in the 7th round. Then the referee finally stopped the fight in the 9th round. You could even tell that Crawford knew there was something wrong with Spence because he started to slow down his attacks and could have stopped Spence sooner. Also, the whole boxing world knew that there was something wrong with Spence, but Spence did not make any excuses. He just said the better man won. And Spence did not look the same coming into the fight. He did not fight the same either. And I seen Errol Spence against Shawn Porter in Los Angeles. So Errol Spence did not give any excuses for a very long time. So a lot of people were just guessing what could have happened with Spence that day, and a lot of people came up with the idea that he was weight drained. I was not one of them because I know what it takes to be fit. I am actually a very fit person. And drained is Devin Haney trying to make 135 when he looks like Michael Jackson in Thriller. And Errol Spence did not look anything like that. As us fit people say, you cannot eat your cake and be fit too. And some people say Errol Spence looked high coming into the ring. And some people say he ran up the mountains, up the hill days before the fight. Then slowly the truth started coming out. We found out that Errol Spence could not spar months before the fight because Errol Spence had a rib injury and Quinton Randall was the one who broke it in sparring. And he was only cleared to take the shot to stop the pain only 1 week before the fight. So that's just one excuse. But recently, Errol Spence stated that he actually needed cataract surgery. And he stated that's the only reason Terence Crawford beat him so bad, because he could not see the punches coming. And he also stated that he was not living a boxer's lifestyle. And this is the one that actually got me upset. Because if he wasn't living a boxer's lifestyle, what's up with all that talk when he said, I'ma beat him bad and it's gonna be a one-sided A-whooping? And we are smoking on bud over here, which I don't doubt he actually got that from me. So if Errol Spence does say that he is living a boxer's lifestyle now, why should we believe him now? Why didn't he live a boxer's lifestyle for Undisputed? Once a liar, always a liar. And he waited almost a half a year to get that cataract surgery. I think he did that to buy more time because he was not prepared to face Crawford again. Now I believe Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence at any weight class at any time, because Crawford is a pro and he stays ready. Also, this fight will be very hard to sell because it was so one-sided and it was long overdue. Errol Spence should have been ready. He should have got that cataract surgery way sooner. If he would have got that surgery as soon as he healed from the whooping that Terence Crawford gave him, he would have fought Terence Crawford already. Hey Errol Spence, I want my money back, but only half. Terence Crawford can keep his. He did his job. Just kidding, bro. You deserve it. You went down like a man. But do you guys think there will ever be a rematch between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford? And if there is, do you think it will play the same or different? Comment below and I'll write to everyone back. If you guys like the show, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and that's it for me, champs. I gotta roll.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world!